Hi everyone, we're back for chapter 7 of Beau at Ballard Creek, and chapter 7's title is Beauty Parlor. After the ice had gone out of the river was clear. Tiny leaves came out on the birch trees and the aspens. The new leaves looked like a pale green mist all over the far hills across the river. The snow had gone, except for in little hollows, where it had lain very deep, and under spruce trees where the shadows stayed all day. Mud had taken its place, and it would be a long time before it dried up. When Beau went to town, she decided who to visit first, depending on what time it was, early in the morning or afternoon, rain or sunshine. Oscar usually went visiting with her, but this morning he was out in the woods behind town cutting wood with his father. Beau decided she'd visit Lily or Yovella. Maybe Yovella. Lily liked to sleep late, but Yovella'd be up. Everyone called Lily and Yovella the good time girls, or sometimes the sporting girls. Jack told her that was because when Lily and Yovella were young, they'd worked at the dance hall when the town was full of stampeders. And sporting meant the same thing as having a good time. The rest of the good time girls had gone away before Beau came along, but Lily and Yovella stayed. Yovella was dark and plump and round, with deep dimples in her face and shining black eyes. She always wore long, dangly earrings that made noises when she shook her head. Lily had blue eyes, long blonde hair that she twisted up on top of her head. Into the twist she put shiny combs with jewels in them. She said she got her hair out of a bottle, but Beau didn't know what that meant. Beau wore overalls every day, the kind that buttoned over your shoulder. Arvard made them out of blue denim or out of blue striped twill the miners used for their shirts. In the winter she'd have long woolen long johns under the overalls and wool sweaters over them. When it got to be summer, she could take off the long johns, and then she just wore overalls and little flannel shirts that Arvard made too. Lily and Yovella hated to see Beau dressed up like a boy, so they made her dresses like they did for the other girls in town. They liked to sew. When Beau went to a dance, she always wore one of the dresses. Lily and Yovella didn't like it that Beau wore heavy leather shoe packs with dresses, or moccasins that the Eskimo mammas made her. They said she should have proper shoes to wear with a dress. Yovella showed Beau a picture of herself when she was a little girl. She was wearing little shiny high black boots with lots of buttons on them. Yovella said you had to have a special tool to button those buttons. Beau was very happy that she didn't have to wear any such thing. It was Lily who made Beau's bear when Beau first started walking. Lily dyed some white drill cloth with tea to make it brown. She cut the bear out of that and sewed it up with scraps of cloth for stuffing, and embroidered round black eyes and a nose and a mouth. It had sharp ears like a fox, not round like a bear, so people used to tease Lily that she must have gotten her animals mixed up. Here's a picture of the little bear. But Beau liked his ears just fine, and hardly ever went anywhere without that bear. At night he slept in a little cradle Sandor had made for her when she was a baby. She called him Bear. "Ought to name him," said Jack from time to time. "I'm waiting for a name to come to me, like you found my name, Beau," she always said. Bear got very beat up in his life with Beau, so Lily had to take the stuffing out of Bear every year and wash him and re-dye him with tea. Once she put buttons on for the eyes after she washed them, but he looked different with buttons, and Beau cried, so Lily took them off. Beau and all the other children liked to visit the Good Time girls because their cabins were so fancy, especially Yovella's. You had to take off your shoes on Yovella's porch so you wouldn't track dirt in when you went into the cabin. Yovella's floorboards were painted and shiny, and there was a flowering rug right in the middle of the floor. As soon as you opened the door, you smelled Yovella's special smell. It didn't smell like a slop bucket or cooking like everyone else's cabin. It smelled like perfume, eau de gardenias, which she always kept in a little glass bottle with a little rubber pump on top. It was very expensive. You couldn't play with the bottle. But once in a while, she would squirt a little on Bo, and when she went back home, Jack would take one sniff and say, "You been visitin' Yovella, huh?" Because Yovella was the only one who ever smelled like that. Yovella had a big bed with olive green silk pillows that matched the coverlet, and propped up in the middle of the pillow was a beautiful doll dressed in the fanciest dress you could ever imagine. Bo always put Bear up there so that Bear and the doll could talk. Once Bo had jumped up on the bed, and one of the mattress coils had broken and was sticking out and cut her leg badly, and she had bled all over Yovella's rug. Yovella got the blood out of the rug, but Bo still had the scar. After that, children were not allowed to climb on the bed, ever. Yovella had lots of records, and she'd always let the children play whatever they wanted. She had one called Who Takes Care of the Caretaker's Daughter When the Caretaker's Busy Taking Care. You had to sing it very fast, so all the words ran together. That was Bo's favorite at Yovella's. Yovella was happy to see her, as she always was, and she showed Bo her new magazines and let Bo play her favorite record. But while Bo was listening, Yovella came up behind her and picked up Bo's braids in a thoughtful kind of way. Bo's heart sank. Sometimes Yovella took a notion to play beauty parlor with the girls. That's what she called it. She'd fix their hair with ribbons or flowers and combs and put rouge on their faces and screw a big pair of her long earrings onto their earlobes. The big girls, like Della and Lena, Oscar's sisters, and the twins Annie and Betty, loved to play beauty parlor, but Bo hated it. But Bo was the only one with long hair. The other girls, even the little one, had to cut their hair short like the women in the catalogs, so Yovella liked to play with Bo's hair best. "Bo, let me fix your hair nice," Yovella said. Bo could only look at her. Yovella didn't seem to notice that Bo was feeling unhappy. She took Bo's hair out of the braids, and she made her bend over the wash bowl while she washed her hair with some perfumey soap and then toweled it almost dry. She rubbed it so hard Bo's breath was coming in gasps. Then Yovella made Bo sit still on the chair by the table while she brushed the damp hair out straight. Then she wound up fat round curls which she tied with her curling rags until Bo's head was filled with little packages of curls tied in bows. "Now we'll have some tea and some Melba toast and wait for them to dry," she said in a pleased way. "It's going to look so beautiful." She made tea in a fancy little pot Bo and the other girls liked so much and put the toasts on a plate with roses on it, but Bo couldn't enjoy the pretty pot or the roses. Yovella chattered about her hair. She thought the new fashion with short hair were terrible, and Bo should never think of it. "A woman's hair is her glory," she said. "When I was a little girl, I had scarlet fever, and they cut off all my hair. That's what they used to do in those days to help you get well. I cried, and when I saw my head covered with prickles, Mother said, 'Don't cry, Emma, it will grow back.' And it did, but it took so very long." Bo looked up quickly when Yovella said that. "Why would your mother call you Emma?" she said. Yovella laughed. "That's my real name," she said. "I just thought it was too plain, so when I left home, I called myself Yovella. Don't you think it's a pretty name?" Bo did, but she asked, "Was your mamma sad when you changed your name?" Yovella picked up her cup and looked into it. "My mother died before my hair grew out," she said. When Yovella thought the curls were dry enough, she untied each one and then brushed it out, wrapping it around her finger, placing each in a long corkscrew carefully on Bo's shoulder. "There, you're a picture." She held up a fancy gold mirror to Bo. When Bo looked in the mirror, she bit her lip and scowled horribly. "What a face!" cried Yovella. "Don't you like it?" Bo threw a despairing look at Yovella and backed away from the mirror. "I have to go," She took Bear off the bed and tried not to run out the door. "Well, wait," Yovella protested. "Here's some chocolates for you. I saved them from my last box." Bo took one of the chocolates to be polite and then turned and ran. Bo ran all the way through town. She ducked in the bushes when Pluck, Oscar's brother, pumped by on his bicycle. She dashed across the bridge. She stomped into the cook shack and was happy that Jack wasn't there to see the miserable curls bobbing and bouncing on her shoulders. She grabbed the brush she shared with Arvard and Jack. Not that they needed it much. Jack had a shiny bald spot on top of his head and lots of curls that fluffed out around his ears. And Arvard, whose hair was straight and thick, he kept chopped very short. It sort of stuck up in porcupine tufts. Bo yanked those curls with the brush, but they bounced back like springs. So she went outside, ran to the rain barrel, and dumped a big dipper of water over her head. She bent over to wring out her hair, and just then Jack came around the corner from the storage shack. He raised his eyebrows, asking a question. Jack never used any words he didn't have to. "Yovella made me curly again," she said, facing him with water dripping down her face. Jack smiled broadly. "I recollect how you hated it the first time she did it. Must have been 2 years ago." He led her into the cook shack and got a towel to dry her hair. "Guess you're not gonna be a girly girl," he said. He brushed her hair out straight and did her braids up. "Maybe if you had a mama or sisters, you might have gone that way. Too late now, I guess." "Well, you don't like it either, all that curly mess," Bo said, scowling at him. "Huh, I guess not. I like things to be just what they is, no messin' with them." "Right," said Bo. "Me too." "You tell Yovella that," said Jack. "But Lily and Yovella, they're so fancy," Bo wailed. "They don't leave nothin' the way it is. They're just always cranking those corsets and shinin' those nails and doin' their hair." "Well," said Jack, "that's kind of like their job." "Might hurt their feelings if I said I didn't want to be like that," Bo said. "That's true," said Jack. Guess you don't have any better friends than Yovella and Lily. But you just tell them in a nice way. Tell them you don't want to be fancy. You just want to be Bo. They'll understand that." "Well, I'm not going to go visit her anymore," said Bo. "Not unless Oscar's with me."